A global humanitarian and charity worker with a darker side of being a child molester. Now, this is a nightmarish story of two extremes and how they coexisted. Can the world's most celebrated performer also be one of the most controversial figures in entertainment history? The lovers celebrate his groundbreaking career while wrestling with the shadows to follow him everywhere. Today, we're diving into one of the media industry's most controversial narratives. A story of genius intertwined with darkness, a man who is both a musical genius and entertainer and a troubled individual. This is the tale of Michael Jackson, aka his paradox. Let's start from the beginning to figure out what built the foundation of Michael Jackson's controversial personality. So this cat was born on August 29th, 1958 in Gary, Indiana. Now from the beginning, it was clear that this kid was something extraordinary. By age 11, he was already a star, performing with his brothers in the Jackson 5. Songs like ABC and I Want You Back hooked people. Can you imagine being that young and already topping the charts? Now, it must have been a proud moment for the crew, but that wasn't the case. He loved his mama and maintained a friendly environment with his brothers, but with his dad, well, not so much. See, MJ had a rather complicated relationship with his dad.
He used me as the example. It was like, do it like Michael. And he practiced us with a belt in his hand.
He claimed on several occasions that his father Joe used to abuse him physically and verbally. Joe was a hard parent who wanted his group, the Jackson 5, to do exceptionally well. And if he's admitting to this level of abuse, it's likely that there were far darker experiences hidden beneath the surface, right? For years, Joe denied the allegations, but after some time, he accepted that he had beaten his sons with a strap. Now, if he's accepting that much, then that must mean there could be more than just straps. Now, we just kind of wonder how they were surviving in that kind of a toxic environment. Well, that was the reason that by 14, Michael decided to bid farewell to the Jackson 5 and went solo. And we all know where that led. But let's hold up for a second. Even at this young age, Michael wasn't just any child star. There was a hunger in his kid, a drive to be the best. Like, do y'all think that pressure shaped the man that he would become? Alright, let's fast forward to 1979. Michael drops off the wall and the music world changes. 4 top 10 hits from one album? Now that was kind of mind-blowing. Now Michael wasn't just a pop star anymore, he was the pop star. And this was just the beginning. Then came Thriller. The album shattered every record, sold 45 million copies, and cemented Michael's place in history. Now we all know the songs, Billie Jean, Beat It, Thriller. But here's a twist, it wasn't just about his music. Michael wasn't just making hits, the man was revolutionizing the industry. Now who can forget the first time they saw the Thriller video? But let's be real, there's a question hanging over all this. How does somebody so talented, so beloved by millions, end up as one of the most controversial figures in entertainment history? As Michael's career grew, so did the rumors. Lovers began to observe specific changes in his appearance. His skin lightened, his nose looked different. The world sat and watched and wondered what was happening to Michael Jackson. Was it a skin condition, as he would have the people believe? Was it plastic surgery? The world was interested, but at the same time, incredibly skeptical. The world was divided into two groups. I think it's kind of funny that some people will love Jackson no matter what, and the other half was the exact opposite. Then came the 90s. Michael released Dangerous, another massive success, but something had changed. The conversation wasn't just about the music anymore. It was about him, his race, his identity. He released Black or White, a song that seemed to address the critics. It don't matter if you're black or white, he sang. But the world was not convinced. How could a man who once looked so different now be almost unrecognizable? And more importantly, what did it actually mean? Now this is where the paradox starts to unravel a little bit. As his appearance became more white, his music got blacker.
Why would I want a white child to play me? I'm a black American. I'm proud to be a black American. I am proud of my race. I am proud of who I am.
I mean, just think about it. Songs like Remember the Time and Dangerous had deeper rhythms, heavier beats. Now he was pushing into new territories, blending genres in ways that nobody else was trying at the time. The dude was trying to transcend race, but at the same time, people were asking, was he running away from his own identity? It felt more like a gritty facade that was masking all the truth underneath. And then the tables were turned, and then came the scandals. You know what? It all started with Neverland Ranch, the home and private amusement park of Michael Jackson. To the outside world, it looked like a fantasy. We're talking a 2,700-acre ranch with wild animals, amusement park rides, and a dreamlike atmosphere. But behind the gates of Neverland, darker secrets reside. Horrific rumors began to swirl, unraveling dark secrets hidden within. Michael Jackson was accused of child molestation. Now the world was shocked. The jolt felt like a punch to the gut for some people, leaving fans reeling in disbelief. Now they couldn't believe that Michael Jackson, the man who sang about healing the world, was now at the center of one of the most troubling controversies that a celebrity had ever faced at that time. In 1993, the first public accusations of child molestation emerged. Now the media frenzy was unlike anything the world had seen before. People were divided. Could this man, who had brought so much joy to millions, really be capable of such horrors? Now, Michael denied the allegations, and the case was settled out of court. But the damage was already done. A shadow hung over his career from that moment on. How do you reconcile that? How do you process the fact that this man, who gave us some of the greatest music in history, was also surrounded by so much heinous darkness? So let's be clear. Michael Jackson was acquitted of all charges in 2005 after a long and very public trial. But did that clear his name, or did it just deepen the mystery? In 2009, just weeks before his highly anticipated comeback tour, Michael Jackson passed away at the age of 50. His death sent shockwaves around the world. Millions of people mourned. Fans held vigils. The King of Pop was gone. But even in death, his legacy remains complicated. In 2019, a new documentary, Leaving Neverland, reignited the allegations. More accusers came forward, telling stories that left many people conflicted. Like, how do you feel when you hear these stories? How do you separate art from the artist, or are they too deeply intertwined? Now, this is the paradox to Michael Jackson. He was the pioneer of the black performer on stage, a legend, a hero, a man who revolutionized the music business. But he was also a man tormented by charges that just can't be dismissed like that. Therefore, how do we preserve his memory? Could one separate the man from the musician and enjoy the latter without being reminded of the former's dark side? How far can we go in distinguishing between the two? Now, one thing's for sure, Michael Jackson was both a genius in music and dance and a man with a very dark side. His story can make you squirm and think about why you feel a certain kind of way about him. Like, is it possible to appreciate the music and not get weirded out by the dude? The truth is, he led a dual life. He was precocious since he was a child star.
I have a good time. I mean, I can't go into a park. I can't go to Disneyland as myself. I can't go out and walk down the street.
He was childlike when he grew up. He created music that had no color and no date, but he appeared to be a chameleon. He sang about love and healing, yet the man himself was in a lot of internal conflict. He didn't just construct a profession, he built a legacy. A beauty that isn't fully preserved and a history that's not entirely whole. A legacy that was as complex as he was, as black and as white as him. And maybe that's the point. Maybe he's the paradox that they're all looking for. A man who was both a hero and a villain, genius and flawed, loved and hated. Now that's the Michael Jackson paradox. So what you think? Can we love the music while acknowledging the man's flaws? Was he a hero, a villain, or something in between? Let me know what you think down below, and I'll see you next time.